Bold predictions in a game like this when you expect a lot of players to play and you expect Tennessee to win a pretty good football game by a lopsided score. Let's get some bold predictions here. Could be individually, could be team-wise. Austin, why don't you kick us off here? Bold prediction for Saturday's game for Tennessee.
Bold prediction for Saturday's game. I'm going to go Jermod McCoy gets a pick six. He's been active in fall camp, multiple picks, and I think that I think out of the corners, and I like Ricky Gibson a lot too, but I think Jermod McCoy is probably a little bit more aggressive right now. So I'm going to take him jumping a route and finding the checkerboards.
I've talked about big plays. I'll go with big plays. I'll set the over at, say, 3.5 50-plus yard plays. I'll go over.
I like that.
A few years ago, I pushed in on a defensive end. I'm going to push in on another defensive end, and I'm going to say Joshua Josephs shows up off the edge early with a couple of I think he'll have a couple of sacks in this game. I think that he's going to have a real impact because I think all the talk's going to be about James Pierce. So give me Joshua Josephs to be a guy everybody's talking about at the water cooler on Monday.
Who do we expect to be the two back to return kicks?
I think
Cam Seldon and typically, but in a game like this, that's why I'm going to go bold.
Or special teams.
Yeah. I think they're going to catch it and put it down at the 25.
In a game like this, since we're doing bold predictions, let me get somebody to run a kickoff return back. That's pretty bold. I was going to go Deshaun Bishop leads the team in rushing, but I don't think that would be a massive bold tape because we expect him to play a lot of football in this game. But I'll say some excitement in the return game, punt and or kick in a game like this. On that note, running back.
I also have a feeling. Sorry to interrupt you, but I got a feeling that Boo Carter is going to do something. I don't know if that's a punt return. I don't know if that's an interception in the middle of the field. Something tells me Boo Carter is going to make some kind of play that's going to have everybody going, why in the world is he not playing every snap? So I think Boo Carter makes a play of some kind. I don't know what it is, but I think Boo Carter is going to be a guy that people are talking about Saturday night and Sunday morning when they go to church.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. On that running back note, what do we expect that position room to look like heading into Saturday? AP, Cam Seldon looks like he's full go, ready to roll. Of course, you got Sampson, Bishop, Peyton Lewis, Khalifa Keith. In a game like this, again, kind of what do you project from that running back room?
A lot of people are going to play. If I'm Tennessee, I want Dylan Sampson getting a couple of series, exiting at 14 or 21 to nothing, and turning it over to the young guys. Like I think Cam Seldon needs to get his fresh, newly healthy body, hit a few times that matter, not thudded up in practice. I think Deshaun Bishop deserves, because he's been Mr. Bell Cow in fall camp, the chance to be a real player there. At the running back spot, at least for this first game, and then it's on him to stay on the field, right? It's on him to show that he belongs out there. And then I'm most excited to see Peyton Lewis. Yeah. I've called him for 9 months Tennessee's next great running back, and I think
you're the president of the fan club, AP. You're the president of the Peyton Lewis fan club.
You're daggone right, I am.
So let's Rob jump in here too. Over under on Cam Seldon. I'm gonna set the over under on 8 carries. You're taking the over, the under.
Under.
Yeah, I would say under. I think, however, I think what you said earlier, or what AP said about, I think the better thing would be series. I think that'd be the better measuring stick. How many series he gets? But
all right, over under of 2 series.
Oh, over. I'll go
over.
You're taking an over on 2 series for Cam Seldon?
Not a lot over, but over.
Would you take the over at 3?
Push.
Yeah, I think if you put it at 2.5 over, you get a lot of action.
Cam Seldon, who is not a freshman, but Peyton Lewis, Boo Carter. Who are some other freshmen that is intriguing you guys the most to see out there? Because again, it's one of 4 games this year that you're going to see a lot of these guys play. What's another freshman, Rob, that you're excited to watch?
And I don't know how much he's going to play, but just hearing William Inge talk about him, I mean, Spillman, I mean, again, first game, I don't know how much he's going to play, and that room is deep. But man, Inge went hard on number 13 when he had his little media session.
Well, he compared him to Al Wilson, and
Yes, he did.
Two practices later, which was our last practice to view, I heard him literally tell Evan Spillman, "You're not going to play for a long time if you don't start doing this better and that better." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." So I mean, I was laughing just because he's pushing the kid, but he loved him up 1 minute and then smacked him in the back of the head.
But I mean, everybody wants to see Mike Matthews, don't they? I mean, isn't that the guy, like the number one? And because you saw Squirrel play a lot and make a lot of plays as a freshman. And they obviously the needs were different, the depth was different, but they'll play freshmen there.
Can't you see Spillman playing like linebacker in the fourth quarter and have like 3 tackles in a row and single-handedly end a series because Chattanooga's like trying to go home and get the game over with and not get a bunch of guys beat up? And I mean, he does a little bit what James Pierce did his freshman year. We racked up a couple of sacks, and that late and kind of mop up duty there. I can totally see that. I think Spillman. I think people are going to know Spillman's name maybe on the opening kickoff. Because I think that he's going to be a guy who makes some special teams play. I think you're going to know he's on the field before he ever lines up on defense.
I'm intrigued to see what a guy like Jordan Ross looks like. Caleb Herring had a minor role last year. Obviously didn't play an awful lot because you had Roman Harrison, James Pierce, Joshua Josephs, and that's kind of what Ross is going to be like this year. And of course he wasn't here in spring, so it's about playing catch up and all that. But a game like this, I'm intrigued to see what he looks like. Because he's one of the first 5 off the bus for sure.
Well, he's got 40 more pounds on Caleb Herring this time last
year. Yeah, he does for sure. Here's the other thing too, Austin. I wonder if you're Chattanooga, we're all talking about like Tennessee's going to have 150 snaps to play with all these bodies to run around. I mean, does Chattanooga just totally take the air out of this thing and milk the play clock down and try to limit possessions and shorten the game and then some of the stuff we're talking about never really materializes because you just don't have as many opportunities or as many possessions as you thought you were going to have?
The next opener that goes how we think it's going to go will be the first opener to go how we think it's going to go.
Well said.
Yeah, I think that they'll try. Now, I think for Tennessee, you ask what I want to see out of Tennessee or certain guys on defense. You want to see them get off the field.
Great point.
Not let Chattanooga of all teams 3rd and 9 and they pick up 11. 3rd and 7 and they
give up a screen or a swing pass on 3rd and 8 for 10 yards.
Off the field.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's probably from a defensive standpoint. That's probably the biggest thing anybody should want to see is just. Are they getting off the field on 3rd down? How efficient is this defense by not allowing drives to be extended? Do they end it and get off the field the way they're supposed to? Because it's pretty clear Tim Banks likes his defense. I'm not saying he's ever been capped in negativity, but he's pretty level-headed. But he's been pretty glowing about this defense for a while now. He seems to really like his secondary. He likes his depth overall. Do they go out and play with the results that he's kind of presented everybody like they're going to have in his preseason talks?
Tennessee and Chattanooga, that's coming up on Saturday, 12:45 Eastern Time kickoff, and it'll be on the SEC Network. We'll have all the coverage, of course, leading up to kickoff right here during the game and after at Volquest.com.